it is. There it is. There we go. Now we're good. Now we're good to go. I almost forgot to unmute my microphone again. How would that have been? Well, we've done it before. It's happened many times. You guys can hear me, right? How are you guys all doing? Coming to you live on a Tuesday night this week because I normally do this show on Saturdays, but last Saturday I was a guest on another podcast, so I moved this one to Tuesday. It was the best time for me to do it. I will be doing this show again on Saturday this week, though. So that means 2 of these shows in 1 week. And on Thursday, I'm doing MERLO'S movie Massacre. Tune into that. The link for that is already up on YouTube. So make sure you're ready for that one as well. Let's talk to the chat. We got a few people in the chat. We've got Freddy Krueger 1984. Yo, thank you for tuning in. We've got the Drayton Sawyer. He says, I'm surprised Strangers 3 hasn't happened yet. Yeah, it's I don't know. Didn't it take like 10 years for them to do this one, Strangers 2? Something like that. Christian Spencer says, hi, how are we doing? Freddy Krueger says, yo again. And Nona Chan, hello, Steve. Thank you guys all for tuning in. It's a wonderful, wonderful week. Having a good time. What can you say? I hope you guys are having a good time. And we're going to talk The Strangers Pray at Night today, which, it was one of the suggestions from last week. I had a few options. I chose this one. There's Drayton again. Hey, I think that was from earlier. That's why. Hello there, laddie. Before we get into all the big talk, again, I like to let people come in a little chat a little bit about stuff like that, about different things, see how you guys are doing. Let you guys know that the Sawyer Massacre Indiegogo campaign is still live. Yesterday, we added a brand new perk, and I've got it right here with me. But unfortunately, it's sold already. Yes, that is, you know what it is. If you're a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, you know what this is. And it's got bloodstains on it from the shoot, too. That's what those are. See? Look at that. But it sold already. I was surprised it sold so fast. I was actually kind of surprised because, I don't know. I didn't know if that would be a hot ticket item or not, but I guess it was. Maybe I should have sold it for more. But I didn't feel like I should have sold it for any more than what we did, just because it wasn't that expensive for me to buy, as long as I'm making a profit off of it, all that kind of stuff. But there's still lots of awesome screen-used items on the campaign. We are 45% funded right now on the Sawyer Massacre campaign, and I got a new goal to get up to 50% by Friday at midnight. I think we can do it. But we need your help, so keep sharing, supporting, all that wonderful stuff, so we can make the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film as awesome as possible. We already got a great film, and we're pretty excited about it. I think you guys are gonna like what we're doing. I'm seeing a lot of the editing. Yeah, there's a few things I'm like, oh, we gotta change this and that, but directors always have notes for their editors. It's the way it is. And I see we got our buddy Joe from Fangoria Faithful, who did our poster, by the way. There it is again. There's the poster. Isn't that a cool poster? And it's got the house, one of the houses we filmed at in the poster. Because technically we used 3 different houses to make up Grandpa's house. But as far as an exterior image, that one is the creepiest of the bunch. However, I will say this, even though that's a creepy image of that house, that angle of the house is never shot in our film. It's kind of a funny thing. That angle of the house is just never shot. We actually used that house mostly for the wide angle shots. We used the house that we actually shot all the interiors for some of the close up, right at the house kind of shots, and then a totally different house for the basement. The basement was in like 2 hours away from us, so the other 2 houses were in the same town of Bartlett, though. So they were like a 10-minute drive apart. So that was kind of cool. So, yeah, go support the Sawyer Massacre. The link is in the description for our Indiegogo campaign. If you haven't seen our teaser, you gotta check that out. If you haven't seen our teaser, let me know, and we'll play it. We'll just play it in here. I'll show it to you guys in here, and then go like it on YouTube and all that stuff, and spread the word, because the Sawyer Massacre is the prequel you guys have been wanting, I think. Well, some people want. I don't know. The Saw's family, says Jared. Freddy Krueger 1984. That looks cool. There you go. It's a cool poster. It's a cool poster. But yeah, like I said, lots of screen use items still available. I mean, not lots, but there's, because a lot of them have sold. Again, I'm surprised that the tie sold as fast as it did. But we got those really cool silicone props. I know they're on the high end. But they're our featured perk this week, and we've lowered the price on them this week. Just this week only. So get them while they're hot. Get them while they're hot. And still one screen-used leather face mask as well. And I think we might be adding, we're probably going to add at least one more screen-used prop. That'll be pretty cool. We'll see if it sells. I don't know. You never know when things are going to sell. I never thought this tie would sell. I thought I would end up keeping it. But I guess, it's going to be signed by Leatherface. He hasn't signed it yet, but he will, because he lives only 45 minutes from me. Just saying. Anyways, enough yakking on about this and that and that and this. Go check it out. That's all I can say. Support the Sawyer Massacre on Indiegogo. Help me break even on this movie. That's basically what this final Indiegogo really ultimately is. And actually, I mean, technically I've broken even, but having the premiere and stuff like that costs a bit of money. So that's kind of where I need to make up funds now. But, if we don't hit our goal exactly, well, it won't be the biggest. It won't be that bad. But I'd like to. Anyways. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. So we're going to talk about The Strangers Pray at Night. Now, okay. So, this is my third episode of this show, first-time watches, and I like the idea of me doing first-time watches because I know there's a lot of, especially modern horror films that I haven't seen. And I think I purposely don't watch a lot of modern horror because I typically don't like a lot of modern horror. That being said, first week I watched the Banshee chapter. I didn't love it, but I thought it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a bit of a slow burn. There's some weird things that are hard to figure out and all that kind of stuff. But, I thought it's not bad. Not a bad film. The jump scares could have done without. That movie would have been way better if it just took out some of those jump scares. Most of those jump scares, I should say. Then week two, I watched the Poughkeepsie tapes again. Not bad. In fact, I would say I liked it even a little bit more than the Banshee chapter. Not a bad film. Not bad films. Nothing that's blowing my mind or anything. There's nothing I'm watching that's changing the game in horror. And by the way, my Thursday night stream on MERLO'S Movie Massacre is going to be talking about modern horror. I'm even going to give my personal top 5 modern horror films. Will any of these movies that I've watched for this show be amongst them? We'll see. We'll see. I actually haven't made the list yet, but I kind of have a general idea. But getting back to this, I thought I was on a little bit of a roll, but again, I'm always searching for something that's going to blow me away. And I can't say that either the Banshee chapter or the Poughkeepsie tapes really blew me away like I would have wanted them to, but they were still not badly made films. Now we go to The Strangers Pray at Night. Now it's a kind of, wrestling with this one a little bit because I saw the first one maybe a year or so after it came out, 2009-ish, maybe 2010. Can't remember which, but somewhere around then. They didn't really care for it. I just didn't really care for the movie. I thought, it had potential, but ultimately my biggest problem with the first one, I don't remember it very, very well. But ultimately my problem with the first one was characters didn't make very smart decisions. So that was kind of my big reason for not really caring too much for it. But there were certain things I still liked about it. I thought, these people were creepy. These strangers are pretty creepy, and they seem very methodical, and I don't know. There was a little bit of suspense, and I like that. Give me some suspense. So it wasn't. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the first Strangers movie. I didn't hate it. How about you guys? Did anybody hate the first Strangers movie? Or maybe none of you have seen it. And by the way, if none of you guys have seen Strangers Prey at Night, before we really get into this movie, spoiler warning. I'm definitely talking spoilers tonight. Definitely talking spoilers tonight. Definitely. So you guys tell me in the chat, what did you think of the first Strangers? Because it's been a while since I've seen it. I almost want to give it a rewatch just to see if I like it any better than I did. So I don't know. I don't know if I will now, because we're going to talk about this movie. Okay, Strangers Prey at Night. I wasn't a fan. I've seen people online. It seems to be like there's a mixed audience with this movie. There does seem to be a lot of people that do really like the Strangers Prey at Night. Jared says the first one was okay. That's maybe what I would give it. Again, there's a few things they just... I like it, but the second one is my favorite. Then there you go. Christian is amongst one of those people that really liked the second one. Christian, I'd like to know what you liked about the second one. Because there is a pretty big group of people that seem to really, really like the second one a lot. There's also a group that shit on it a lot too. And I happen to be part of the latter. Yes, because there were moments of this movie I was literally shouting at the screen today. I'm going to tell you what parts. And it really, it stems from a lot of the same stuff. So ultimately, the first thing I want to say about this movie is it's not all bad. Let's talk about the good. First. Gotta talk about the good before I start crapping on it. The acting was pretty good. Let's just say the acting was pretty good. I actually liked how well Bill Pullman's son was in it. I never knew he was an actor until now, and he wasn't bad. He was pretty good. The main gal, I can't even remember her name. What was her name? I don't know. But the character was terrible. But the acting from the actress was pretty good, and the parents they're all decent. I mean, nothing that's gonna win an Oscar or nothing here, guys. It's not like you're getting Daniel Day-Lewis or Marlon Brando or Sissy Spacek or whoever, Nicole Kidman or any of those Oscar-winning actors in your movie. But they're still good. And, when scary things were happening, they seemed genuinely scared. And I think that's important. So I have to give props to that. Because, I see so many modern horror films and the acting is pretty subpar. The screaming seems very, very forced, and you can't believe what's happening because the acting is so bad. So this movie at least had the acting, which is a plus. Hey, there's our good buddy John Evans. Behind the Fiendish Fantasy Productions. There you go. Thanks for tuning in there, John. We're talking The Strangers Prey at Night. I did my first time watch of it today. I actually did it today. I was going to do it last night, and I thought, no, I'll watch it today. Whatever. Busy. I'm a busy guy. But I did it. I got through it. So I'll give props to the acting. It's good acting. The overall direction looks pretty good. Like, it's filmed pretty nice. It was a movie with a $5 million budget, so it's not a big budget film. It's pretty. It's like a typical Blumhouse movie. I don't think it is a Blumhouse movie, but it's Blumhouse kind of started this trend of really low budget horror movies and them making lots and lots of money. So it just goes to show you can do something really well with a low budget, and this movie doesn't suffer from a lot of technical flaws. Like the camera angles are great, the lighting is great, the acting is great. So I mean, you can definitely shoot a Hollywood style movie for $5 million. So yes, you have to look at what's in it. There's not a lot of stuff in this movie, so it makes sense. I mean, but there are like cars smashing into each other, so that was something I wouldn't have been able to do in my film. I wouldn't have been able to smash a car in my film. So you always have to look at what's in your movie. Yeah. So with that being said, I think those are about all the real positives I can give this movie. I think, I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any other positives. I'll read your comments for a bit here. Let's see what you guys are saying. It's more action, like dad and son go look for the aunt and uncle or whatever, mom and daughter have screen time together. Yeah, we're starting to get into some of my problems with the movie right here. One scene was pure cringe in Strangers Pray at Night. Which one was that? There's one in particular that was really cringe for me, and I wonder if it's the same one for you as it is for me. Let's see. Christian Spencer, the trailer park has creepy vibes when the fog sets. Yeah, I mean, all that atmosphere was there. The potential was there. You have a good setting, you have good atmosphere, good actors, good lighting. It's just some writing. Hey, there's Michelle Blasky. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Popping in to say hi in between rehearsals. Oh, well, congrats on all the rehearsals. Hopefully they're going well. I saw that you got a new executive producer today. That is so awesome. Congratulations. Everybody go support Michelle Blasky of the Third Channel. They got a new executive producer today. They're in the last week of their campaign, and it's good that you're ending on a little bit of a high note. So let's see if we can get them up to like 15, maybe even 20%. Hey, dare I say it? I think it's possible. So yes, go support the Third Channel. Yeah, because it's awesome. Halloween 3 fan film, unofficial sequel to Halloween 3. Anyways, let's see what else we're saying here. The Drayton story, the scene with the dad hurt. Oh, in the car. Yeah, I didn't like that scene very much. Definitely not one of my favorite scenes. But I think there's a scene I thought was even worse. Yeah, I really liked the first one better than the second. But both were good, cliche but good. There's definitely cliches in this, but I'm bothered by certain things. But yeah. So, okay. So let's talk about and it all stems down. In fact, before I get into this, we'll talk about the characters first. The characters are kind of dull. They're not very interesting. I've seen this cliche character protagonist before of the bad rebel girl or the bad rebel guy, whatever, who's the obvious protagonist. They have to go through something really bad to appreciate how their parents and whatever. It's the teenage angst thing, which I've seen a million times. I'm kind of sick of seeing it now. I am kind of sick of seeing it. I get it. I get they want to have characters like this so kids can relate to them or whatever, because there's a lot of rebellious teenagers, and I had my teenage rebellion a little bit too. It wasn't much of a teenage rebellion, but there a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired of seeing characters like that. I didn't find her likable. And I want to find a protagonist likable. I really do. Again, the actress was fine. It's just the character. The character was, and the rest of the characters, they're just very dull. They're very dull, and I want more from these characters. So, and these are really the only characters in there. And I guess you could say I just don't see a big reason why your protagonist had to be this really rebellious teen. It just, I get there's a bit of a plot point with it to move the story to the next level. It just, I don't know. There's a million other reasons why they could have been going to visit their aunt and uncle, and I don't know. If you're gonna make your character a rebellious teen, give me something in the movie that's going to make me see a change in them. Whereas I don't really see, like, whatever happens, pushes their character arc a little bit to not becoming that, to becoming a good person or something like that. I'm not saying that she wasn't a good person but you didn't really see anything that turned her, it wasn't really affecting her as a character. I feel like she was really, she went through a lot of trauma, but at the end of the day, she's still the same person. You know what I mean? I don't know. But that's probably the least of the characters might even be the least of my issues. Well, not necessarily, because this has to do with the characters as well. It is character choices, people. Character choices. Character choices. What do we say about the character choices? Think about some of the choices made in this film by certain characters. Let's start with that scene Christian, I believe, was talking about the dad and the son going to go check on uncle and aunt and sending the other two back to their trailer. This is a classic cliche we've seen a million times, and I'm sick of seeing it. It's just, and I'm sorry, guys, if I sound like I'm ranting. It's just, as soon as this happened in the movie, I was like, oh, really? We're seeing this again? We're seeing this again. Let's separate so that they can kill us off easier. Strength in numbers, people. Strength in numbers. We should know that. I would never do that. I would never send my wife and my daughter while me and my son go check on a couple of dead, send them off back, they'll be okay if they go back to the trailer, but I don't like that. I really don't like that. And that was, I think, the first really bad decision in the movie to do that. Definitely not the last, and definitely not the worst, but it's definitely a decision. It's something I cannot get behind. I want to like these characters. I want to like the dad. He seemed, kind of seemed like he could be a nice guy. He just didn't really get much out of him in the early stages of the movie. And same with the brother and the mom. And, the only one that's got any real character development is the girl. And it's like bad character development. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like wanted to know who these characters were a little bit. Who the parents were, and who the son was, and I get it. They're just regular people. I'm sure they are, but they're somebody too. They're somebody too. So I don't know. Yeah, where was I going with that? I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. We're talking about the bad decisions. So the dad sending the mom and daughter, which ends up leading to, spoiler alert, the mom's death. They go back, and the phones are all smashed. Oh, here's another thing I will give a little bit of praise to, is that one of the phones wasn't totally broken, and they were able to kind of get through to an operator a little bit. It wasn't perfect, but, it wasn't that... It would have been a total cop-out if they got there, and as soon as they got to the trailer park, that, bad reception here. That would have been a total cop-out. As how many times have we seen that in a film? Oh, bad reception. I guess we can't call anybody. So I will at least kind of appreciate that a little bit, that they didn't go totally cliche on that, and they could have. But, let's talk about the mom's death scene here. So they end up in the bathroom running from the young girl with the mask on. And that's why they would have went. I mean, maybe that was the only place they could have gone. I get it. That's fine. That's not my big issue. But they really did nothing to try to fight back. It was about, let's run, let's get out of here, and it's great he got the girl to escape. But as she's on the roof and escaping, trying to reach for her mom, the problem with this is you're making it easier for the mom to be killed. So, I mean, mom, stop reaching for your daughter and, let go and do something to defend yourself instead of just let your daughter watch herself being killed. I'm not saying she would have lived. The other girl would have, but there was stuff you could have done. Pull that damn shower curtain off the shower and, strangle that girl with it. Strangle the young girl. I mean, you can do something. There are options. You're not totally defenseless. But in that moment, she made herself defenseless. So she's deserved to die. So, Mom, I can't root for you. You get killed, and I don't care. And I want to care. That's the thing. I want to care. I really do want to care. I hope you guys don't think I'm just, I watch any movie to shit on it. I really didn't want to shit on it. I was hoping I would have been in the group that would have liked this movie because, I ultimately like slashers and I want to like more slashers, but a lot of these slashers just seem to fall into the same trap. But when a slasher is good, it's like it's really good. It's what it tends to be for me. But I don't know. So that was an issue for me. I didn't root for the mom because she didn't even attempt to survive. She just, I get it. She wants to make sure her daughter's free and safe or whatever. But she was already up there, and you keep doing it to let yourself die. I don't know. Yeah. What does Christian say here? Mom could use the shower curtain and shove the girl. Yeah, there was definitely some things. There was definitely some things. I mean, I was saying that as soon as they entered that bathroom, grab that shower, rip that damn shower curtain off the ring. I mean, you can do something with that, right? A shower curtain is, thick and it's big and you're gonna mess up. You're gonna give yourself a chance, and I feel like the mom just kind of gave up. I don't know. Michelle Blasky, I haven't seen it and probably won't, but that scenario does sound offsetting the wife and the kid. Yeah, sending the wife and yeah. Hey, there's Degree Centigrade. That's our buddy Mario. Hey, Mario, how are you doing? We're talking about The Strangers Pray at Night. Did you like it? Because I'm kind of shitting on it right now, if I'm being honest with you. And I'm trying not to. I'm not. I think I come across maybe more hateful than I really am. But I really wanted to like the movie, and I was, as soon as this kind of stuff was happening, I was like, oh no, really. And it was happening in the first one. I remember this similar kind of stuff. There was a time in the first one when they separated, and it's just two of them in the first one. So you're just making it even easier for you to pick. But still, at least that one had some suspense, and it also had some very the killers were more mysterious, and they were more methodical, and they seemed to plan their stuff a lot better than they did in this movie, which is another factor for me in this. I feel like the killers really had no plan in this movie because there were so many opportunities to kill them, and only thing I like is the pool scene. Yeah, I don't like that scene either. I got issues with that. I mean, I like part of the pool scene. Part of it. we'll get there one step at a time. I got to go scene by scene here. And it's funny, while all this happened, when the mom and daughter were having their thing, the son and the dad still hadn't actually got to the other house yet. I found that kind of strange, because weren't they much closer to that house than they were or that trailer than their own trailer? Because it seemed like it was just a quick hop, skip, and a jump for them to run into their parents. So that was kind of weird. I mean, that's not a major issue, but at the same time, it felt odd. It felt odd that, they haven't discovered these human remains first. At this point, you'd think they would have. But, yeah. Anyways. Trying to remember what happens next. Is that when the dad gets in the car? What was that hit them in the car? I was like kind of wondering what that was, and it was very strange. Like, what was it that hit their car that made them crash? If anybody knows in the chat, please let me know, because I was trying to figure out what that was. Yeah, seemed very odd to me, anyways. Yeah, and then the son gets out of the car, and anyways, yeah, that whole car scene with the dad getting killed, I don't know. First off, that didn't happen at that point, because they just that didn't happen because they went back to discover the mom's body first. That's right, and that was actually done pretty well. I will say that whole scene was, when they discovered the mom's body and we got to look for your sister, that was done fairly well. The dad's discovery of the mom's body was believable. Again, the acting sold me, and then the son peeking in, and the dad, shoving him away. You don't want to see this sort of thing, but you knew, and that little bit there was good. That little bit was good, and then so they go off to find their daughter, and that's when the whole crash and stuff happens. The man tossed a brick at the car. It was a brick, okay. It didn't look like a brick. It looked like something's kind of splattered. So I thought it was like a human body or something. I thought it was, I don't know, because it looked kind of splattery, but maybe it was a brick. It makes sense, but yeah. So yeah, the dad's death. Okay, so let's look at the dad's death a little bit. Now, it was a little bit drawn out. And it was drawn out, and there wasn't yet there was no real suspense with it. They built up like it was going to be more suspenseful than it was, and that this killer guy was going to do a lot more with the whatever, was it, a pickaxe or like a miniature, not a pickaxe, but a ice pick. It looked like an ice pick. It might have been just some sort of knife, but it looked like an ice pick. And you thought maybe he's going to like slowly drill it into, because the guy is totally helpless. He can't do anything. And the way the dad was sort of pleading with the guy and all that kind of stuff, that was a little weak, At that point, if I was the dad, I would put everything I can into whatever strength I can have left to fighting that guy off. And, this guy, for all you know, this guy killed your wife and maybe killed your daughter as well. I would make the effort. Screwdriver. What is a screwdriver? Okay. And then, so he's got this screwdriver. And you're kind of thinking, what's he going to do with that screwdriver? Screwdriver? I thought it looked more like an ice pick or something like. But you're probably right. It probably was a screwdriver. So yeah, they built up a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's just, and that's it. I don't know. I expected more. You have a chance to do something with that, and not necessarily show it all, but imply it. And again, I like that. It's good that it wasn't overly gory, but at the same time, you have a chance to imply something worse. But they didn't. And that's okay. Whatever. Again, it's not. That whole scene, it was forgettable for me. I didn't. Yeah. Again, I didn't see fighting the dad, and I didn't see. I didn't see. I don't know. Why was the killer playing that pop music? What was the deal with all the pop music going? I don't know. I don't know. But let's get on to like the really cringy part for me, anyways. And this is where I was really shouting at the TV when I was watching this. So I think they were back at their. The girl was back at the trailer. The guy has the gun. I don't know. They got set. I can't remember because I was so bored by this point. Somehow the brother and sister got somewhat separated, and the girl killer jumped on the sister, the main character. I can't remember any of these characters' names. That's how forgettable they are. I want to remember their names, but I don't. Was it Kaylee or something? I don't know. We'll call her Kaylee. We'll call her Kaylee. I hated the man. I hated that the man turned up the radio. I just didn't. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. But anyways. So yes. Anyways, the young girl killer takes a stab at gets the main character cornered, and we'll call her Kaylee, and stabs her. She's stabbed, and she's about to finish her off, and then the brother comes in with the gun, and this is where I'm getting pissed here. This is where I'm getting pissed. Now, just me. You guys tell me if I mean I'm a bit of a pacifist, and I don't like violence. I can admit I'm that guy. I don't like violence, but you've discovered your mom dead. And you, for all you know, you think your dad's probably dead now too because of what these people have done. And now you've seen your sister be stabbed and is about to be finished off. And you're coming with the gun and you say, put the knife down. If it was me, even though I'm a bit of a pacifist and I don't like violence, if this is my family that's been butchered by this person, I am going in there firing on all cylinders, guns blazing, folks. I'm just saying, I was screaming at this guy. Kill her. How are you not shooting that gun at her? How are you not killing this girl right now? Shoot. Fire, fire, fire until it's empty. She killed your mom. And probably your dad. But he doesn't know it. But I mean, he knows his dad is pretty much mortally wounded. And I'm just screaming. And even the girl is like, give me the gun. I'll shoot her. And he's like, no. Oh, my goodness. I mean, this was where I lost it in this film. This is where part of me wanted to switch it off. But, because it's just, I don't. Am I wrong? You guys tell me if I'm overreacting on this, but this kind of shit drives me crazy. And as a family man, who loves his family, and if I knew my family was getting killed by if any of my members of my family was killed, murdered, I would hunt down the murderer. I don't know. And if I had that chance, I wouldn't take a second to say back off and oh boy, I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry. Maybe like gun blazing like Rambo. Man, that really pissed me off. It really pissed me off. I had a hard time with that part. I was shouting at the screen. I was absolutely shouting at the screen. And I know other films have done similar things. And I always want to respect somebody who doesn't want to kill. But in that case, come on. Because I mean, if you if you don't kill them, she's still gonna come after. They're still gonna kill you. These are like some. It's either them or me. You pretty much know that by this point. You pretty much know that these people are hunting you. You don't know how many. You didn't know how many there were at that point. Any of them. As far as he knew, she was the only one at that point, because I don't think he had encountered any of the other ones. I don't think so. I can't remember now. Point is, oh no, he had seen the guy earlier, I believe. Still, strength in numbers again. Kill one of them, and when he finally did kill one of them, it was like, took you long enough, buddy. And okay, and that's the pool scene. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys are gonna live through this. I know it's turning into a rant, and I really don't want to be totally crapping on this movie. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but I was kind of disappointed in this movie because I thought I might go in liking it, or at least not disliking it as much as I did. At least thought maybe it would be on par for me with the original, with the first film. And to Jared's point, when he first logged in and he said, "I'm surprised I haven't made a Strangers 3." I'm surprised I haven't either. Even though these movies got poor ratings, they're not overly poor ratings. This was like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not good, but it ain't terrible either. But I mean, I never looked at any of the reviews, so I mean, you can't really base it on the actual score. You actually have to look at the reviews and see, the people that hated it, how much did they hate it, and the people that liked it, how much did they like it. But it means 40% of people like this movie, which I would not be. If I was certified on Rotten Tomatoes, this would not get a fresh rating from me. But I'm not a critic, and and I think certain things bother certain people more than others, and these were things that really bothered me. Some of the things that I don't like in this movie didn't bother me as much as stuff like this, though. That's a character decision that was really, really bad. It was just so bad. It's totally unbelievable. Hey, and there's Carlos from the Lazy Reviewer. How are you doing, Carlos? We're talking about The Strangers Prey at Night, Carlos, just tuning in. And it's kind of turning into a little bit of a rant. I'm sorry, and I apologize for turning it into a little bit of a rant. But I do have issues with this movie. Cannot help it. Cannot help the fact that I got issues with this movie. But that was pretty much I think that was the biggest moment I really hated. And the pool scene. We may as well get to that now. So I mean, the guy, because she's stabbed, and it may kind of make sense that he would hide her and leave her somewhere. The one thing I'm kind of confused at is, where did the gun end up at this point? Because all of a sudden, he didn't have the gun, and I don't think she had the gun either. Because where did it go? Nobody had it after that. A little bit mystified by that. Somebody should have the gun when you know that all three of these crazy wackos are still on the loose. So where did that damn gun go? If anybody knows, maybe I missed something. It's possible I did. Guys, it is possible I missed something that may have happened with the gun somewhere in between this and the pool scene. Seems weird though. I don't think I could have missed. I don't know. It's possible though, because I mean, my interest level was really, really gone by this point. I haven't seen the second one, but loved the first one though. Okay, I didn't love the first one, but I definitely didn't have as many problems with the first one as I do this one. Let's just say that. And I won't. The first one suffers a little bit from a little bit of the same issues that I have with this one, but not quite to this extent. Definitely not. So I give the first one that definitely over this one for sure. But I can't say I loved the first one. I can't even say I liked it. It was I don't know. The girl had it. The brother gave it to her. Gave her the gun. Okay, where was the gun though when she showed up after? She didn't have it then. I can see that. I see what you're saying, Christian. But where was it after? Because she didn't have. I don't know. She didn't have it. She ended up using that cop's shotgun. Anyways, jumping ahead here. Yeah, that pool scene was good because he finally the brother finally killed one of them. And let me just say, like these strangers, we'll just call them the strangers, we're not making it hard for them to be killed in this movie. It's almost like they wanted somebody to kill them. Whereas in the first movie, it was like this was again, very methodical, because the opportunities to kill these strangers in this movie was quite a lot. It was definitely a lot. It definitely didn't seem like they had a big plan. And finally, the brother kills one of them, and then says to the guy, "I killed one of you. How does that feel?" And it come up and says, "Good, I get it." But then the whole pool thing, after that, the struggle in the pool, and basically disarming him and then swimming away, but not getting away, not being smart enough to swim like hell away from that guy. He had, like, when he's getting out of the pool, he's kind of going kind of slow. He's not going anywhere. Whereas he's got a little bit of a leg up. And I was like, come on, buddy, move it. He's right behind you. Did you really not know that he would be right behind you? So that bugged me. So he gets stabbed, and you pretty much figure he's dead. But he's not quite dead. He's not quite dead. Wasn't quite dead. And all of a sudden, the sister shows up and revives him. Where did the guy stranger go by this point? I don't know. He just disappeared. You would have thought that he would have. I don't know. I won't even try to theorize. Why he just kind of left like that. But anyways, because you don't know. He could have been doing anything. I assumed that the one that was killed was his wife or whatever. I feel like the strangers are a family. Maybe they're not. We don't really know. Maybe they're all strangers from each other, and they just, I don't know. We don't know their purpose. We don't know their motive. It sounds like the motive is simply because why not? Because that was what the girl said. She and I think it was similar at the end of the first one where the victim said, "Why are you doing this?" And the girl, or one of them, said, "Because you were home." If I remember that correctly, because you're home. So there's no real motive to what they're doing. And in this one, before she gets blown away with the shotgun, it was why she said, "Why not?" And so that was kind of a play on that. I guess so. Bonnie Tyler is singing, and the camera goes above, under with the action. Yeah. Hide under the stairs where she was. Well, if she did that, though, Christian, that's a stupid thing. Why would you hide? You take it with you. Shoot to kill. Shoot to kill. The hunted need to go on the hunt. And there's a little bit of potential for her to do that. Anyways. Where were we? So then it's kind of reverse role where the guy is, she leaves the guy and she runs off and tries to, I don't know. I'm getting bored with it by this point. And then the cop shows up and you see the girl clearly there, and I don't know. The ending I have some issues with. This whole ending sequence, I definitely had some. It's good that she finally blew away the girl, That's great. In the cop car and all that kind of stuff, and then the guy comes and smashes it with his truck, and then she sets that truck on. This sets them on fire, and it's like, okay, here we go, big explosion. Well, she killed them all. They're all dead now. Right? Wrong. She's walking away, and the truck starts driving towards her slowly, and then speeds up, and then she runs to the bridge and stops right in front of her. He gets out and he's like, I'm done. I don't know. This was so, what's the word? It was so over the top, this end sequence. And then she gets in the back of that pickup, like they stop for her, and then they try to run off, and because he's there, and she gets it in the back, like Texas Chainsaw, end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's almost like they're trying to redo that. Remake that ending a little bit. I don't know. It was too much. It almost felt like at this point they're just trying to extend the runtime. Let's do more. This guy is more of an invincible one. Well, no kidding. But it's so weird how, he fell down like he's dead right in front of her, and then all of a sudden he's back up and he's stronger than ever. Isn't that weird? The way he gets back up jumps onto that pickup truck and everything. I don't know, guys. Bad ending. So that's about it. I guess the very, very end. I mean, if the ending has any sort of, I mean, it was the showing of her trauma at the end was good by the knock on the door. That startled her, so it showed that she has basically got permanent trauma, or more or less permanent. I don't know if you'd necessarily say permanent trauma. Well, you probably would. It's pretty bad trauma. You should have bad trauma at this point. And knocking on the door is a perfect example of what would trigger that trauma. So I like that, but it's not exactly. It's not an ending that's going to blow your mind. It's just, she's got trauma. And whatever. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I can't really say much good about this movie, other than what I've noted before. I guess some of the dialogue was okay. Everyone wants to be like Mike Myers. Yeah. Yeah, what else can I say about this movie at this point? I don't know. I'm going to have to do a little bit better on the suggestions this week. So you guys put your suggestions in. I almost watched another movie, and I might just go with that one this week. That was I can't even remember what it's called. The one that predates the Blair Witch Project. John Evans even sent me a link to it and everything. I should have watched that one instead. I don't know. I think I'll watch it this week. But, I chose this one. I looked through you guys' list and was looking at stuff, and I'd seen the first Strangers, so I thought, okay, well, let's watch the sequel. Let's just do this. I didn't think I was going to hate it this much, but I did. Yeah. So you guys think some other suggestions, though. Put them in the comments. I'll probably watch that found footage one, though. I'll probably do, but somebody put that one in the comments, though, just so I have it, remember what it's called. But other suggestions, too, just in case I can't. Oculus Man. Okay, never heard of that one, so I'll look it up for sure. And I will be doing it this Saturday for sure, guys. This Saturday I don't have any other. I'll go back to Saturdays with this. Unless you guys like me doing Tuesdays, I can switch this to Tuesdays. I just thought a weekend date is probably better, but I can do Tuesday. You guys let me know. Terrifier or All Hallows Eve. Good suggestions. I've been meaning to watch Terrifier, and I just haven't. All Hallows Eve, I'm not sure if I've even, yeah, I'll look them up. but I have been kind of meaning to watch Terrifier. I've never been a big clown guy. I never found clowns very scary, so that's why I haven't watched that one yet. Like it never did much for me. Yeah, clowns just don't do a lot for me, so I just haven't bothered. But a lot of people really like it, so I should give it a chance. I really should. I haven't seen Oculus either. Yeah, I haven't seen Oculus. So at least we got a few suggestions. And what was the name of that? John Evans, are you still in the chat? If you are, put the name of that found footage one that predates Blair Witch by just a little bit. I think he may have sent it in a message at some point too. But I do want to check that one out because I've heard good things. I've heard some people say it's actually better than the Blair Witch Project. I don't know if I can really believe that, but hey, I'm interested. I'm intrigued when I hear some people say it is actually a better film than the Blair Witch Project. I'm intrigued. Definitely intrigued to see why they would say. There must be a reason why people would say that. So now I want to see it. Anyways, put the name of that one in if you can. I don't know if John Evans is still around or not. John, you still around? Anyways, guys, I hope I didn't seem like I was ranting too much about this movie tonight. It's not my least hated movie of all time or anything like that, but I definitely was quite disappointed. Yeah. I don't like having to shout at the screen. It's been a while since I've actually gotten to that because I really try to avoid bad movies like The Plague, but at the same time, you don't know if it's a bad movie unless you see it. Oh yeah, nasty one. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, Terrifier. Just know that Terrifier is really graphic. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm not really big on the real heavy gore. Not big on heavy gore. That's probably why I've avoided seeing it, but I know it has a massive fan base. So, I mean, Art the Clown has basically become a modern day icon. So I have to give credit where credit's due. It might not be for me, but it's probably worth a watch, even though I don't like really overly gory stuff. I should at least give it a try. I mean, something can still be really gory and still be scary at the same time. I just typically find that the ones I've seen that are gory are typically not very scary. Typically. But that doesn't mean there isn't potential for that. Any other suggestions, guys? I'm open to all suggestions. I guess John Evans isn't in the chat anymore. If anybody else knows the name of that movie that predates the Blair Witch Project, the found footage movie, by a little bit too. It's like by just a slim margin it predates the Blair Witch Project, I think. So, and I was on John's podcast a little while ago, and I think it was Jason Pitts that was actually really praising that one. I just can't remember the name of it now. I'll find it. You guys were a few people were suggesting it last week, but definitely a must watch more to it than just a clown. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll probably take your word for it. I don't know. We'll see. Christian Spencer said earlier, what would you rank it? Well, I definitely wouldn't rank it very well. I probably need it to sink in a little bit, but it would not get a good score from me if we're talking The Strangers Prey at Night. But I don't like to rank movies like as far as like give it a 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. But it'd probably be in there somewhere. It'd be in there. I don't like to to rate movies on a scale of 1 to 10 unless I really, really know them well. Movies that I really, really know well, I probably could rank. Because I feel like every film to be ranked, for a film to be ranked, it deserves multiple watches. But I mean, I doubt I'll ever watch this movie again. I really, really doubt it. So that's the thing. A lot of the movies I hate, I can't rank because I'll never watch them again. They're one-time watches. This was definitely a one-time watch for me. It's it's definitely below a 5. We'll just say that. It's somewhere below a 5 out of 10. Somewhere below a 5 out of 10. Like, where in that, it's not good. It's probably below a 4 out of 10. Could even be below a 3 out of 10. It probably is. Because that's when it gets to stuff you really hate. I have to go now. Good night. Well, we're almost done here anyways. But if you have any suggestions before you go, let me know. Otherwise, good night, Nona. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, nothing else there. So, what was I saying? Yeah, as far as ranking films go, but yeah, this would be not a good ranking, not in my books. I can't remember who suggested this last week. Whoever did, well, was it you, Jared? Was it you, Jared? Or was it Christian? I don't know who it was. It's one of you guys. Somebody suggested this last week. I went through the chat, went through all the suggestions, and for whatever reason, I chose to watch this one. I almost feel like I shouldn't have now, because I do try to choose movies I think I'm gonna like, and for whatever reason, I thought I might like it. For whatever reason, I thought I might like it. I think the reason why I thought I might like it was I've seen some people comment that they didn't really care much for the first one, but they really liked this one. So and I thought myself, I didn't really care much for the first one either. So maybe I will like it. You know, that they say this one's different. Well, it is different. I mean, they definitely didn't change much as far as the premise. The premise is the same. The only major difference, biggest major difference, is that the antagonists all got killed in this one, as far as we know. Anyways, I mean, they better be dead. But or hey, if you can find a way to bring even one of them back, for a sequel, they will. But yeah, wasn't a fan at all. Wasn't a fan. Kristen Spencer, how far long is your film edit? It's about 2/3 through the rough cut. I'll call it a rough cut, so it's not a final cut. Where he's about 2/3 through the rough cut. I imagine he'll have the full rough cut probably done around the beginning of next month. I'm gonna say that, and then final cut. I'm gonna say final cut probably by June, by middle June, because there's just a couple tweaks that are gonna have to be done. And then sound design after that. Sound design, that's the final step. Sound design and scoring. Putting the music to. We already have a bunch of music to it, so that shouldn't be too hard. And should be ready. Definitely should be ready by the time our premiere happens. So, yeah. But as far as how much he's edited right now, the last time he told me it's just what he's edited is just over an hour. Just over an hour. So we're on pace to hit an hour and a half. I think we'll have an hour and a half film. 90-minute film. Which is good. I'm good with a 90-minute film. But we still need your guys' support on Indiegogo, so make sure you click that link in the description for the Sawyer Massacre Indiegogo campaign and support today. And if you can't support today, then share it. Share the links. Share it with everybody you know, especially anyone you know that is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. There you go. Any other suggestions before we go? Otherwise, very little suggestions today. Very few. I expected more. But that's okay. And but there's a few good ones there, I guess, So it's going to be between Oculus, Terrifier, or All Hallows Eve. Yeah. It'll be one of those. Probably Terrifier. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna do Terrifier because it seems to be it's the one I've heard of. I mean, I've heard of Oculus and I've heard of All Hallows Eve, but haven't heard much of them. So Terrifier is super popular. Like, I know who Art the Clown is, blah blah blah. So hey, maybe that's the way to go. What do you guys think? You guys are quiet tonight. You guys were more talkative earlier, but then I got to ranting and you guys turned me off probably. Sorry guys. I don't mean to rant. I really don't try not to come across like I'm ranting. I get very passionate. I get passionate when you guys should have seen me in my living room watching this movie, shouting at the TV, "Shoot her! What are you doing?" That was me. My B-Day, I be watching it. My film, or when is your birthday again, Christian? You're younger than I thought you were. I thought you were about 30. 30-ish. Yeah, I thought is it you that just had a birthday? But anyways. Well, guys, I think that pretty much does it for me tonight. Yeah, there's really not a lot I can say about this. So we'll definitely do a show on Saturday. If it's another one that I don't like, though, maybe this show is, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I do need to watch more films. I need to get more suggestions, though, from you guys. Only a few suggestions tonight. I was getting like 10 the other night, so that's okay. Yeah. Oh, Thursday. Thursday is your birthday. Terrifier. You're going to watch Terrifier on Thursday? Well, also tune into MERLO'S Movie Massacre on Thursday as well, because we're going to talk modern horror on Thursday. And I'm going to give you a bit of a top 5 ranking. I thought about making a top 10, but I thought to myself, geez, I don't think I could really make a top 10. I'm still not even sure I can make a top 5. I think I can, but, I'm like thinking of stuff. I'm like, but it'll be movies from the 2010s to today. Just movies that came out then. And some of the ones that are in my tops are probably not going to be even considered horror. I consider them horror, though. But some people probably wouldn't even consider certain movies horror. So tune in to MERLO'S Movie Massacre on Thursday. Just 2 days from now. It'll be a good one. We're going to chat modern horror. So if you like modern horror or don't like modern horror, it'll still be good. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Have yourselves a good night, and we'll see you all on Thursday. Hey, have a good one.